Hello, subscribers. This is yours truly, JBlue68, coming to you with my first comic book haul in a while. This is my first, I think, my first comic book haul for the month of July, and we're actually towards the end of July. Today being Wednesday, July the 31st, and this will be a special comic book haul based off of you know who, the the guy who has the merc with the mouth. Who has the #1 movie in the world right now, and of course that is Deadpool. Before we get into this comic book haul, though, I do want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, for liking, sharing, and commenting. Please continue to do so, and tap the notification bell so you get more videos like this as I post them immediately. Well, in front of you, you see the very first Deadpool comic ever written or printed. And this is actually from the Marvel True Believers line, which they were publishing a couple years back. I think they stopped doing the True Believers about 3 or 4 years ago, or probably right before the pandemic or the pandemic. This is kind of like a facsimile version of the very first Deadpool. This is Deadpool #1, written, of course, and created, character written and created, of course, by Rob Liefeld. And on the Marvel label, as we see. And I actually showed this the other day when I did an unboxing, Todd McFarlane's version of this character, where he did a statue, I should say, of this particular character. And I showed it in that video. But this is going to, again, just be a comic book haul of, again, all my favorite covers and some of my favorite stories. This is not every Deadpool comic book that has ever been published, but this right here again is a facsimile of the character from the again Marvel True Believers line. Let's kind of take a look at some of the pages here. Let's see some of the artwork from the pages. This is part 1. Stan Lee presents the end of an era, and has the writers here, creators Rob Liefeld, Fabian Nicieza, Joe Rosen, S. Buchalada. I'm probably slaughtering those names. Bob Harris, and of course Tom DeFalco. All right. And we have an advertisement of Agent Carter here. Just goes to show how old this book. How old this book is in terms of its republication. So yeah, this had to have taken place. This book had to have been printed way before the pandemic, or as I like to say, the pandemic. The pandemic is when this was republished. It features, of course, Domino, Shatterstar, some other characters. There's Cable on the cover there. Okay, so let's move along here. Again, I'm not going to profess to have all of the every single Deadpool comic book that's ever been published, but some of the ones that I like. Here's Deadpool Bad Blood, which was written by the creator, Rob Liefeld. And of course, Rob Liefeld is known or teased as drawing little feet for his characters. As you see this. I guess that's kind of true right here, and that was actually something that was hinted to and teased in the movie. And of course, I did see it. I absolutely loved it, and I rated it a 9 out of 10. This is Deadpool Bad Blood #1, and then he revisited that storyline with Deadpool Badder Blood #1. Okay, and that is actually written by or drawn by the artist. This story is actually written and drawn by the artist Rob Liefeld. Okay, and there's Cable again, and there is Wolverine on the cover. If you can't see that. Okay, and I don't really have a lot of comic books featuring Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, this is mainly a Deadpool comic book haul. Let's see if we can take look at some of the artwork on the pages here. Oh, and there's Ant-Man, I think, too. Interesting. Because of course, if you haven't seen the movie yet, Now, I don't want to spoil it for you, but or is that Ant-Man? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe a character that looked like Ant-Man. But there's Cable and Wolverine. Both, of course, these characters have appeared in the Deadpool movies. And this is the third entry into the Deadpool story, or Deadpool cinematic universe. Cable was in Deadpool 2. And then, of course, Wolverine is in this current Deadpool film. That's a nice, very nice layout right there. Look at that. That is really cool. And this page spread Cable. Wow. Very, very nice. All right, those are just some advertisements there. Okay, so I just wanted to show some artwork from the pages of that book, Deadpool Batter Blood. And this is one of the more recent publications of Deadpool right here. And they actually had a short box based off of this cover too. And then, of course, he's breaking the fourth wall, as you see here. Literal enough for you. And he looks like he's laying on top of a giant watermelon or something. Very cool. Yep. So I didn't collect this entire line though. Here's book number 2 of that series. What up, Doc? Of course, that's Doc Ock, one of Spider-Man's enemies. Very cool there. It looks like the cover got bent a little bit. Not sure how that happened. And now next up we have Deadpool the Gauntlet, and then once again he's breaking the fourth wall. Looks like he's attacking some giant bat creature. How do you like your steak, Fang Boy? Rare, medium, or in your stinking heart? And this is written by Jerry Dugan. But again, I don't have this entire series. Let's see. And here's an advertisement that Marvel put out based on a Deadpool story that they did a couple of years back, issue number 28 of Deadpool, Till Death Do Us Part, also written by Jerry Dugan. This is actually just a poster, not a comic book itself. The Mercs for Money. The Till Death Do Us Part, Part 3. Okay, very interesting. So it looked like there was some kind of connector cover of a story I never did collect from Deadpool. Next up, we get into what is this? Deadpool joins the X-Men. Dig that cover. That's hilarious. That's Domino and Emma Frost on the cover there. And then I have a promotional card that they actually printed for this story. Funny. He's always been a funny character, of course. Here's a one-shot. Very, very nice artwork there. Deadpool. And this has a parental advisory suggested on the cover. You know, a lot of people are saying, you know, some people are complaining about the Deadpool being rated R, but the character's always been a rated R character. And again, if you still can't see that clearly, it's parental guidance suggested right there on the cover. A lot of his comic books actually are like that. I had the parental guidance suggested on the cover. There's Logan right there again, of course, known as Wolverine. There's Emma Frost. Looks like, I don't know, that's probably Wade right there, undergoing some kind of experimental treatment, and of course Cable choking the heck out of Deadpool. This is X-Men Origins Deadpool. Yeah, this is the origin story of Deadpool. Right? Yep, sure is. Origin story of him, and looks like a member of AIM right there. Yeah, so this is the origin story for the Merc with a mouth. Then we have another really cool comic book right here, comic cover right here. This is from the Marvel Spotlight. Excuse me. And I haven't seen a Marvel Spotlight comic book in a while. Once again, he's breaking the fourth wall. Hey, look, I'm in Marvel Spotlight. But Marvel is actually under the MCU I should say in Disney Plus. They're actually doing Marvel Spotlight shows now, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Now in the back is the 900th edition, or the 900th printed edition of Deadpool comic books. Let me take a sip of coffee here. I'm going through these books. Excuse me. All right. This also has a parental advisory suggested on the cover. You see that there? Parental advisory. Okay, so that's the first lot of books. Let's get into the next lot of Deadpool comics. Let's see. And we start this part of the haul off with Deadpool versus the Black Panther. How cool is that? This was a mini series. It came out a couple years back. And again, parental advisory on the cover by someone named, I think, Kibble Smith, Lopez Ortiz, Sobreiro, who is the artist on this book, or in this series. This is issue number 1. Here's issue number 2. And once again, he's breaking the fourth wall. Avengers disassemble him. This totally happens in this issue, by the way. All right. And we have some of the members of the Avengers back there, which is a coincidence when it comes to the movie itself. The movie that's currently out. Here's a cover dedicated to Stan Lee, 1922 to 2018. This is issue number 3 of Black Panther versus Deadpool number 3. Excuse me. Yeah, this is issue number 3 of Black Panther versus Deadpool. And once again, he is breaking the fourth wall. Hey, jerk, old lantern. Halloween was 2 months ago. He's a funny character, and the books are funny and action-packed and violent, just like the movie is. And the movie is not for children, by the way. Not at all. I think I said that in my last video. But yeah, this is a cover dedicated to Stan Lee, who appeared in the Deadpool movies too, by the way. Here's issue number 4. Hey, T'Challa. How you like meow? Oh man, hilarious. Seriously. All right. And again, this was a mini series. I collected all. I think it's a 5-part series. I collected all 5 of them. Okay, and here he's saying something else. And I thought my family reunions were brutal. All right. Yep. So that's the Black Panther versus Deadpool series. All 5 books. Mini-series. Then next up, this is a not a one-shot, but this is part of a story that I was trying to collect. Features Spider-Woman on the character there. This is a variant cover. So this is kind of out of order, definitely. There's no other book on the back. So this is part of a series that I was collecting. And I don't know where the other books are at. Because here's number 7 of that series. This is by Scotty Young with Nick Klein on the art. And this book was actually published, as you see, Santa Claus is on the cover there, around the Christmas holiday. All right. Looks like he's about to slay Santa with his katana sword. All right, and then Jerry Duggan again on another number 1. You know, Marvel does. They'll number 1 you to death. They'll do a number 1 series in that series and then start off again with a new number 1 series. There's been a complaint amongst a lot of comic book collectors about Marvel. Me personally, I don't have a problem with it. It's cool with me, you know. But I can understand the complaint somewhat. But anyway, this is Jerry Duggan again. Deadpool Massacre number 1, presented for the first time in badly translated English. with another parental advisory suggestion on the cover. That is a cool cover, though. Very nice artwork. Okay. Here's another Marvel True Believers. I hope that Marvel starts doing the True Believers again, because what was cool about the True Believers books, they were only $1. You know, comic books are quite expensive now. They range anywhere between $3.99, $4.99, $5.99 on up. You know, depending on the content and the type of book that they're publishing. But the True Believers were really cool, because they also help you. If you didn't know anything about a character, they were kind of like an introductory to certain characters in the Marvel universe. I know DC was doing the same thing for a while, but you know, they stopped printing these right before, as I mentioned, I do believe I mentioned previously, the pandemic. But yeah, here's an issue number 1 of Deadpool, the meaty Deadpool. You missed. Bunch of arrows and looks like metal fragments in his body and surrounding his body. Here's another True Believers, Detective Deadpool by Narcisa. This is with Wade. This is kind of like a almost like a what I want to say, an homage to a movie, spy movie or something like that. They did a lot of covers with Deadpool that were homage covers, and this is one of them, with Wade Wilson and Irene Merriweather, kind of reminiscent of the 1950s detective films with like Humphrey Bogart or something like that. That's what I think it was supposed to be an homage to. Right? And it almost looks like Betty Davis right there. Then we have another Marvel True Believers, the Uncanny Deadpool, number 1. Interesting cover there. And then here is another book, Out of Order. This is issue number 3 of some series I was collecting, or supposed to collect, Deadpool and Cable. Subtitle Split Second. As you see, there's been a lot of interaction between Deadpool and Cable and the X-Men, because of course Deadpool was part of the X-Men in the comic books. It became part of the X-Men for a while, but for the most part, he's kind of like a lone wolf in the Marvel universe. All right, and we're back to Black Panther Deadpool number 1. Let's go to the next lot of Deadpool comic books. Let's see. One moment. All right, so we'll just do these books next. All right, we move these out of the way. All right, here we go. So next up, we start with the Merc with a Mouth series. One of my favorite, all-time favorite Deadpool comic book runs. And as I just mentioned, you know, about them doing homages, this was kind of, every cover of this series was an homage to a specific movie. And it says guest starring Kazar, one of the Marvel characters that comes from what's called the Badlands or something like that. Zombies, cavemen, dinosaurs, and zombie cavemen. And I think this is kind of like an homage to Kazar. Okay, I was about to say another character. Yeah, but to Kazar. So this is an homage to Kazar. This is issue number 1, written by Victor Geisler, with Bung Dazo on the artwork. And again, parental advisory suggested with these books as well. Okay. And here's an homage to Jaws. This is issue number 2 of that series. And it has the zombie Deadpool. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't want to spoil anything, but some of the characters that appear on some of these books are featured in the movie. Ryan Reynolds went all out for this film, as well as the director, and they threw everything, the whole kit and caboodle, into this film, almost literally. So, next up, another homage cover. This is to what the Night of the Living Dead, I believe. Yeah, this is Night of the Living Dead homage. When there no more room in the zombie verse, the head will walk the earth. This is issue number 3 of that cover. I mean, it's issue number 3 of this series, I should say. Okay. Anything on the back here? I don't know what this is an homage to at all. But of course, it's in black and white, and he's carrying the Deadpool zombie head. All right. Yeah. And then this here, I'm not sure what movie this is supposed to be reminiscent of. It almost looks like something like a Burt Reynolds film or something like that. I'm not really sure. I could be wrong. If you know, please comment below. If you know what this is probably a dedication to, film wise. All right. This very easy because this is an homage to one of my favorite movies of all time. It says, "In space, no one can hear you cuss." So of course that is a payoff to basically, what am I trying to say here? It's a homage or a payoff to Alien, and of course we know next month we are actually going to get the next Alien movie, Alien Romulus. But of course this was the saying or the popular catchphrase to the very first Alien movie, which came out in 1979, which was in space no one could hear you scream. Or in here, of course, here it says in space no one can hear you cuss, which he does a lot of cussing in the comic books as well as in the movies. Deadpool issue number 7, and this is supposed to be a dedication to some film that I'm not really aware of. But that's a cool cover, black and white. Let's see what's on here. And this is probably a dedication to Raquel Welch, one of her movies. I recognize that pose. I don't know the name of the movie, but yeah, the late great Raquel Welch. This is issue number 8. This is a way we rolled. 1 million years DP. Again, by Victor Gischler and Bong Dazo. They really did a great job on this series. And it's a great read, too. A very fun read. For adults only, though. But this is actually the Marvel character named Tigra. Tigra? That's who that is. Standing in a Raquel Welch pose. All right. And then here, Professor Zombie, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? I don't know what this might be a dedication to, film-wise, but that is so cool. And then here, yeah, I don't know what this is this is supposed to be a dedication to either. But again, all of these covers are dedicated to some type of film that came out, that's come out over the decades in the film industry. This looks like a samurai type pose or some movie based off of probably some karate film or something. I'm not sure which one, but it's on the tip of my brain, but I'm not sure which one. But this is chapter 11. Or issue 11, The Way of the Mercenary. And of course, he has a zombie head in this shopping basket here. If the series did continue beyond 11, I don't know because I stopped here. It probably did. I'm not sure how many books were in this series, but that's the end. That's the end in terms of what I have. Next, in terms of that particular Deadpool series. Next up, we have Suicide Kings, which was a limited series. 5 books written in this book. This is by Brian Michael Benson, if I'm correct. And I only have, I'm not sure how many books I have. Oh, here's a one-shot. Uh, Again, he did a lot of homage. They did a lot of homage covers for Deadpool. This is Games of Death, which is of course um, for a dedication to Bruce Lee's Game of Death, Game of Death, Game Game of Death movie, which was the last movie that Bruce Lee did. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis as well, and this was a one shot, not part of the series that I'm showing now, which is Suicide Kings. Here's issue number 2 of Suicide Kings. It was a 5-part limited series, which features the Punisher on the cover. I think the Punisher and Daredevil were in this series. Yeah, yep. Because here's number 3. And you see he has them in his gun sights. Yeah, so it's featured the Punisher and Daredevil in this series. And here's issue number 4, which features Spider-Man swinging across Manhattan or New York with Deadpool in his grasp. Also, a dedicated cover that's dedicated to one of the first issues, or the first issue of Spider-Man, if I'm correct. All right. And something on the back here. Okay, yep. Issue, no. Okay, so I did collect the entire series. So here's issue number 5 of Deadpool Suicide Kings. I think this character's name is Tombstone or something like that. I believe. I think that's Tombstone. Yep. So that is that series, and we're back to the very first book, Merc with a Mouth. And let's go ahead and do the next lot of comics. I got a lot of comic books from Deadpool, as you can see. This is Deadpool with, it looks like one of the scrolls on the back here. That's very interesting. Okay. All right. Yep, that's Skrull Army. It looks like in the background. I think this is part of a Secret Invasion. Yeah, an outtake of Secret Invasion. Here's a promotional poster of a series that I didn't collect of Deadpool versus S.H.I.E.L.D. And I know that there's a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, but I don't have that. It's got a little helicarrier in the background there. Very cool art. Okay, yep. And that's, I think the car was called Lola, issue number 21. And this was when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was out. It sure is. Yeah. And the car was called Lola. Agent Coulson's car. All right, yep, so that's that. Next up, we have Wade Wilson's War. To all bad people, run. What horrors of war does he hide behind his mask? Wilson confesses they wanted our freedom, so we took their lives. This is by Straczynski with Pearson and Mounts on the series. This was a limited series of 4 books from Marvel Knights, the Marvel Knights series. And there is Domino on the cover there. It looks like Bullseye and someone else, whoever this young lady is. And there's book number 2 of Wade Wilson's War, which features Silver Sable. I guess that's who that is. That's Silver Sable right there. And here we are with the 1000 issue of Deadpool. The 1000th issue printed, if I'm saying that correctly. All right. And it has that noir look to it. Black and white noir look. I like that. This is a thick book too. All right, nothing on the back there. And then next up we get into Deadpool Secret Wars. Of course, you know, Secret Wars was a story line, a 12-part series printed by Marvel years back. And they actually had spin-off stories, and one of them was based on Deadpool. And this is a coincidence because, of course, you know, they just announced that the Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo, will be directing the next 2 Avengers films, Avengers 5 and 6, which is subtitled Secret Wars. And here's number 1. I think this is a 3-part series. Here's number 1. And of course, you see once again Wolverine. Here's Iron Man, Thor, and Cap on the cover there, and the Hulk. Here's issue number 2. This is written by Cullen Bunn, of course. Yep, so part of the Secret Wars storyline. And then issue number 3. All right, this came out during the time that the Ant-Man movie came out, which is, I don't know, 2016 or 17, something like that. And there he is there. The Secret Wars alternate version of that Wade Wilson. You know, he doesn't have a jacked up face or body. He looks completely different. So I guess for those of you not understanding why they just announced too that RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. will be returning in Avengers, but he will be playing as Dr. Doom. Well, to understand why there are alternate versions of characters, I always suggest reading the book first. Read the comic book, and it will help you understand why he's returning as not Iron Man, but coming back in the Marvel Universe as Dr. Victor Von Doom. That's going to be interesting to see how they do that, man. Oh, what is this here? Speaking of Dr. Doom, this is not Deadpool related, but again, there were several announcements at San Diego Comic-Con and Hall H. And they actually revealed the title of the Avengers 6 film, which was it Doom War? I think it is. And again, as I mentioned, Robert Downey Jr. will be playing this role. I thought that I would throw this in here as a surprise. This is written by Christopher Cantwell with Salvador Larocco in the artwork, and Guru FX. This is actually part of the Fantastic Four series, but Dr. Doom will be actually the main villain in the next upcoming Avengers film. It was originally supposed to be, of course, Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, but of course that whole debacle kind of switched things around for them. It's good that Marvel had a plan B, and again, they can always delve into their comic books when it comes to changing things up. And as I always say, I root for Marvel that they don't have to pull stuff out of their butt. They pull stuff out of the comics. So that's good. And here's book number 2 of the Doctor Doom stories. Doctor Doom stories. I have the entire series, but I just wanted to bring these out as a surprise. Again, in lieu to the announcement of these films. And of course, here we also got an announcement about the Fantastic Four film, which is subtitled First Steps. And for those who are interested in the female version of Silver Surfer, well, here she is right here. Again, they're not pulling stuff out of their butt. Here's a character right here. In one of the Marvel True Believers stories that I just said that I wish that they would continue publishing these books. It gives you an inside look into the character, and why they're using a female version of, or you say a female Silver Surfer versus Norrin Radd, the male version. They're going to start off with this version of Galactus's Herald, I should say. I shouldn't call it a female Silver Surfer. I should more so say the Herald of Galactus. That's the proper term. So here she is right here. First created in the comic books from Marvel, and then she's documented here. Chronicle here in True Believers. Fantastic Four. And here we have the origin story of Galactus himself. This is for the first time in one novel. This is originally printed by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby from the Stan Lee and Jack Kirby Masterworks. Okay, and this is not a facsimile. This is an original print. All right. Okay, so that's it. That's all, y'all. This is kind of a long haul. Thank you for joining me for this haul. Let's put these other books back up here. So I hope that you've seen the movie. If you have not, definitely go check it out. For adults only, as I mentioned. Go to your local comic book shops if you want to see if you can find these books. I always encourage people to go to the comic book shops to support the comic book stores. They're always in need of your support as they are small owned businesses. Okay, so again, thank you so much for joining me for this comic book haul. I hope I didn't bore you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you get more videos like this as I post them immediately. All right, thank you for joining me, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease.